Okay, on this first Sunday in June, I'd like to talk a little bit about religion. I'm a Christian. My God and my Bible tells me how to live my life, how to treat myself, my family, and others around me. It tells me how to live a good life, how I should live, how to treat others. It never tells me to hurt no one. It never tells me to go mean to other people. It never tells me to persecute other people for what they do. It tells me what sin is. And if other people are sinning, I can see that. I have no obligation to tell them that they're sinning. I have no obligation to go after them and try to stop them from sinning. Some in our Christianity do, but there's nothing the Bible says we have to. It does say you must proclaim your belief and tell others. Well, we all do that. God can be a vengeful God. For the most part, He is a good, loving God. He sent Jesus, His only Son, to die for our sins. Because in the Old Testament, which is the Torah for the Jewish, and the Jewish people believe the same as we do in the Old Testament. There's nothing in there evil. There's nothing in there telling us to hurt others. There are some lessons learned from violence in the Old Testament, but it was needed. Under the Old Testament, you had to believe. You made one mistake, you went to hell. In the New Testament, God sent Jesus to forgive us for our sins so we can ask for forgiveness if we make a mistake. All of this in itself hurts nobody. If you don't believe, what good does it do to stop us from believing? If you're right and there is no God and we're wrong, we've done nothing but waste our time. But if we're right and you're wrong, you're in a whole lot of trouble. Now, again, the Jewish people, nothing in their Torah says evil, fight, anything else. Buddhists believe in pacifism. Give everybody the upper hand, the better chance to show you what they are. The one that is bad is Muslims. The Quran, over 1,800 times, says Christians must be burned or killed. 400 times it says Christians must be beheaded. Non-believers must be forced to change or be killed. The Torah and the Bible don't say that. It's not a religion. The Islam beliefs were written to take over the world. They wrote them as a blueprint of how to become a strong and powerful nation, because at the time they were nothing. Sharia law is a perfect example. Nowhere in the Bible does it say I have a right to kill any female in my family if she doesn't listen. The Torah doesn't tell Jewish people that, but the Quran does in detail. How to do it, what to do to it, and everything else. Today, I see in the paper that we released 5 terrorists, Muslim-based terrorists, to get 1 soldier back. Now, being ex-military, I could see why we would do that. But stop and think about that. 1 soldier that was over there fighting for the freedom that America and God gave us. And we have to give them back 5 guys that are going to kill more people to get 1 back. As a soldier myself, I can't speak for him, but as myself, I'd rather they executed me than to give 5 back that could execute other American soldiers. We see every day in the news how Islam signs put up. I just read one on the Muslim church. They put on their sign somewhere in America. It says, America, we are going to take you over. We are going to kill every one of you if possible to change America into an Islamic nation. They put that on a sign outside their church. Now, we do have freedom of speech, so there ain't much we can do about it. But stop and think about it. A group of people that jump at the fly of a handle. Up in Michigan, Islamic days, Christians were standing around just watching. Not protesting, just standing around watching. Christians get arrested because the Muslims don't even want them looking. Christians have a holiday, the Muslims protest, they scream, they yell, they throw things, everything else. Nobody gets arrested. We are not treating religion fair in America. Everybody wants to talk about separation of church and state. Well, there is none in the Constitution. Nowhere in the First Amendment does it say anything about separation of church and state. It says this: the state shall mandate no religion, and then it says, comma, you have the right to practice your religion wherever you are. That means a courthouse, workplace, anything else. It says that specifically. You have the right to practice your religion anywhere. Now, the separation of church and state came from a writing of a judge in the 1920s, if I'm not mistaken, that he thought so, and somehow they jumped on it and forced it into the Constitution. Now, but if you want to say separation of church and state, no benefits of it. How come every time we make a law, when the state passes a law saying no share law, that's a law saying that you can kill your daughter if she goes out not dressed right, you can kill your wife if she doesn't do, if you rape a woman that is wearing the wrong kind of clothes, you're not guilty of nothing. Those laws are in share law. States pass something banning them, but our liberal judges throw them out as unconstitutional. They fight to keep Christianity out of the courthouses, everything else. But when we make a law keeping a religion out of our legal system, they say it's unconstitutional. And by the way, Christianity doesn't come into the legal system. The legal system is based on Christianity, whether you want to believe it or not. The Ten Commandments is what our legal system is based on. Now, you look at Islam, and it's just unbelievable what they're doing. And every time we try to stop it, Obama and his people jump on it. Obama was raised Islam, and in their thing it believes you can't ever leave once you're in there. If you leave, you're to be killed. But yet he goes to all them nations and nobody's tried to kill him. But I have to tell you something. Like his little bit that Boris Yeltsin, wait till my second term and then I'll give in some. Well, one, he got caught saying that, so he didn't live up to it. That's why we're having problems with Russia. And two, he's a Muslim. Everything he does is based around them. I mean, James Carney quit the other day. Obama hugs him and kisses him. Now, if you're watching the Muslim church, that's what they do. It's just what they do to people that change and get ahead or move on or stuff. Christianity don't do that. Muslims do it. I think every day, how bad would it be if Muslims took over? Because they're trying. Women in America bitch and complain about freedom of speech. Feminists say men chivalry and men's attitudes and stuff. What's wrong with the world? Are they not looking at the Muslim or the Islam? Women are nothing in Islam. They're property. A woman is good for what's between her legs in Islam. And when a man gets tired of that, all he has to do is say 3 times her face, I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you, and then he throws her out and they're divorced. That's all there is to it. That's simple. That Islam religion and Muslim stuff is based around men and men only. So why don't you feminists all get an uproar over that? In politics, their politics are ridiculous. They want a political government, or a religious political government, because Islam is not a religion. I do not believe it's a religion. I believe it's a way of life, a political system. And that's what they want here. And, I mean, Michigan is a good example. If you look up there, there's so much problems with them, because that's where a majority of them have gathered, because property's cheap, thanks to Obama and a certain group of black people that are up there running it. And I don't say that as a bad thing against all blacks. But the group of blacks that got in charge in Detroit 20 years ago have destroyed the city. Now, I sit here and I think people fight religion, fight Christianity tooth and nail every day. And at the ACLU, all these organizations fight tooth and nail to get religion. You had this Atheists for America trying to get God We Trust taken off the dollar. But yet none of them go after the Muslims. Part of it, I believe, is they're afraid if they do, some Muslim idiot will try to hurt one of them, because the Muslims don't care if they die. They're going to get the 72 virgin bullshit thing, which they didn't read that right. I've read the Quran. The Quran says, if you die in battle, taking your enemy with you, you will get 72 virgins in heaven. So I don't know how it got manipulated into some terrorist act and get them for you, but that's the way all religions do it. Christianity's guilty of it too. We've had nuts in ours that manipulated stuff like that. But, we got to get to the point where we understand our enemy. And right now, in America, the danger enemy is Islam. The economic enemy is Obama and liberals. You know, the enemy of the family is Planned Parenthood. The enemy of business is the EPA. And if you want to really do some checking, every single one of these was either founded, started, or pushed up into power by a liberal. Carter, Clinton, Roosevelt. You know, when I say Roosevelt, it's because his New Deal thing brought in welfare and so, and you know, all that stuff. And we see what that's turned into. See, every day people post on Facebook. Guys in prison get 3 meals a day. Our vets are dying. And today I was informed that soldiers in Afghanistan were told they're going to be cut to 2 meals a day to save money. We give prisoners that deal drugs, rape women, kill kids, rob banks. They all get heated winters, cool summers, 3 meals a day. There's libraries, pool tables, everything else in prison. But now we tell our soldiers in the battlefield they're only going to get 2 meals a day. That is so wrong. You sit and you see on television, black woman, I think it was Chicago, says, I got 14 kids and it's you all's responsibility to pay for my kids. My kids shouldn't have to starve to death. It's society's responsibility to pay for them. But yet, all them people died in New York, died in the Pennsylvania field, died at the Pentagon. We fought a war to do that, and you don't want to make sure that the soldiers fighting that war for us have food, meal, and the proper equipment. Unbelievable. Just totally unbelievable. You know, if we would mandate certain things. I mean, he took God out of the schools and shootings came into the schools, and that directly correlates. You took prayer out of schools and violence and drugs came into schools. You know, people don't want to make kids not stand up and salute that flag. Well, stop and think about what I've been talking about. Islam, destroying America. The first step is to get people to not back their God. Second step is to get them not to back the Constitution. And then the third step is to get them to believe in something that you can control. Well, taking God out of just about everything, that's the first step. Obama is stepping all over the Constitution, just destroying it. Homeland Security walks on it like it's a floor mat. So, that's done. And then Obama and his, we're going to all get along and be stuff. That was the way to believe, and people are not buying into that. See, they bought into the economic stuff because of the bailouts. They bought into the God stuff because they says many people don't believe no more. But they're not buying into this Messiah thing because Obamacare has killed their insurance and their jobs. You know, EPA rules have made cars too expensive because of the quota for gas. And not to mention gas itself was $1.86 when he went in, and now it's $3.86. And that's just ironic because it hit $3.86 today, so that's $2 more than when he went into office. And we've got more oil. North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, you know, Texas, you know, Montana's even getting into it now. Shale oil, there's all kinds of oil up there for gasoline. Making more oil, making more gas, and the price is $2 a gallon. And I've heard from people as in the military with the work for the oil companies now that Obama has threatened the oil companies if they lower the price. He wants to keep it up there. When he came into office, he said about European having $5 a gallon oil gasoline that he was going to equalize the system for the world. He didn't try to bring them down. He tried to bring us up. You know, I look at all of it. It all ties together. The hatred of God that so many people are doing, which I believe is a simple fact that they're living a life that if they have to speak for it after they're dead, they know they're not going to get a good answer. I had a lawyer down home. I was in Mississippi. An Alabama lawyer told me that he can't afford for there to be a God, because if he has to answer for the things he's done in the courtroom, he'll go to hell for sure. And I mean, that sums it all up right there. That is a simple definition of why a lot of them don't believe and don't want there to be a God. They fear if we make everybody stop believing, if there is a God, he'll go away. Because I think that's what they're up to. If we force everybody to stop believing, if there's a God, he'll go away and leave us alone, and we won't have to answer for what we do. It's so ironic that these same people that want to say there's no God to answer to worship the almighty dollar or property or a company that they own or work for. They don't want to worship God, but they'll worship that. And it's really ironic. I have been with people dying. I have never to this day yet seen an atheist, an agnostic, or anything else when they're dying on their deathbed. Because that fear pops up in their head. Is there a God? Do I need to be right with him when I get there? And it's scary, the amount of people on drugs. God and religion get more people off of drugs every day than rehab, family support, and everything else do. People that leave the drug scene, go to church, and get in that family of people, around people that care about them, that'll be their friend, that'll be there for them, they don't need them drugs. That's what the whole problem is with America. In the 50s, we had God in everything, and we had families. Family units where they sat down and ate dinner together. They didn't grab a burger and go sit in front of the video game machine. They didn't run in, throw their stuff down, and run to Walmart. They didn't run in, throw their stuff down, and run to the bar. They sat down, the kids came home from school, did homework. Dad got home from work, Mom got home from wherever, whether it was work or a meeting or with her friends or whatever. Women have a right to work, so don't go there thinking that I'm just chauvinist, Mom doesn't work. And cooked a meal, they sat down, they ate together, they talked a little bit around the thing. Now it's grab a burger, I'm going to go play the video game, I'm going over to the neighbor's house, I'm going over to Sheila's house, I'm going to the bar. That's what's wrong. When you took, everybody wants to complain. They got the family unit broken down now, they want to get God out of it. They want control. Read the Socialist Communist Party's manifesto. Rule number one, we must get the people not to believe in God, get God and religion out of the picture. Number two, we got to disarm the people. Number three, we've got to get the family unit broken down to where people don't feel responsible. The state should be responsible for all the kids, not the people. Those three. Look at what we got in America. God out of the schools, God out of the courthouse, God out of everything. Obama is trying so hard to disarm us. The UN and everybody else tried so hard to disarm us, and they're not winning that one. But the family unit thing, they're breaking it down. Look at Common Core, that's exactly what it's designed to do, is break down the family unit. I mean, you get teachers, and there are a few conservative teachers in there. I know a couple in our district. One of them is a conservative history teacher. He tells me about my nephews, because my kids are all grown and my grandson's ain't in high school yet. He tells me that he knows I'm a history buff, he knows I know history, but what he can't teach what real history is, he has to teach what's in the book, or they'll fire him. Now, my personal opinion, if I had to lie and teach and corrupt kids' minds, they'd fire me. Because I'd preach the right stuff. And that's what I do. I'd preach. I wouldn't teach. I'd preach. It's getting to the point where they don't teach what's correct yet. World War II. Japanese attacked America. We bombed them. War over. That's all was said about it. Revolutionary War. Revolutionary War was a war in the United States to defend the rights of slaves and stop slavery. Didn't say nothing about states' rights and the price of cotton, which is what it was really over. You go back to the Revolutionary War. Revolutionary War was fought because America wanted freedom from the king. We wanted freedom from oppression and to keep ourselves. To keep what we make ourselves. They don't want to teach individualism, they don't want to teach capitalism, and they don't want to teach working to get somewhere. They want you to be just a good little peon to do what you're told. I watch kids every day with so much bright attitude. They get told in school, just sit there and go with the system, go with the flow. I know, as somewhat of a math genius, you might say, when I was in school, I was held back because they couldn't keep up to get me what I wanted. So everybody else in class caught up with me. Then I get into college and I get into other things, and I can choose math classes. I excel because the kids that didn't catch on weren't holding me back. Now, they're doing that in everything. They're holding you back in everything. They will not let a kid get farther ahead than the rest of them. Because they say that hurts the ego of the kids that aren't, performing. Now, piss on them. Everybody is not equal. Let me say that again and read my lips. Everyone is not equal. There are people that are smarter at math. There are people that are smarter at science. There are people that are smarter at history. There are people that are smarter at physical stuff. There are people that can take a car apart and put it back together in a heartbeat. There are people that can take a mixer apart and put it back in a heartbeat. There are people that will look at that same car and mix and say, oh my God, I don't even know what bolt number 1 is. We're not equal. We're made different. Everybody has something special that they do different. And what you have to teach these kids is, because you're not so smart in one thing does not make you a dummy, does not make you less of a person. It means you have to find what you're good at. That's what you go with. But see, there's a certain group of people in America back in the 80s. They thought about it in the 70s, but they started in the 80s, decided that the money-making professions, it's always important. Doctors, lawyers, accountants. That's what people should do. They get rich doing that. And then little Billy, little Susie, little Tawan, little Lawanda, they get born and they go to school, and mom and dad find out they ain't so smart. They can't do that stuff. They might have to be, shoe store manager, management in Walmart, maybe an intern somewhere. They can't get that job. So rather than accepting the simple fact that that's the way their kids are, they decide, I want to change the system. I want to make it so the person that isn't quite as smart can still get in that profession. Well, do you really want a doctor working on you that they had to lower the standards in the school to get him or her in there? Do you really want a lawyer standing up for you in a courtroom where you have a chance of earning the rest of your life that got in only because they lowered the system for them to get in? And God, you want an IRS audit from an accountant that got in because they lowered the system and changed the numbering system so that they could become an accountant? Really think about that. I would much rather have a lawyer that had an aptitude for it and was good at it, but didn't know jack shit about building a house or a car. He was just like, I'm good at them all. I'll pay somebody to do that. I also want the guy, doctor working on me. I don't want him to know how to be a doctor simply because that's what his family wanted when he preferred to be a mechanic. My wife yells at me, my son, my family, and everybody else because I am what they used to call jack of all trades. I know cars. I build cars, engines, everything else. I own an electronics store, cell phones, laptops, computers. I work on all of them. I, do accounting was my minor in school, along with computer science. I have a criminal justice degree. Pretty good with the law. But I'm the exception to the rule. I know it. I don't expect everybody to be like me. I have the ability to learn things quickly and easily. And I have this, I can't work for other people attitude. I got to be my boss. Because I like doing it my way. So I own my own store. I sit here and I think about people coming in the store. I get people come in the store asking me about legal stuff. I get people come in the store to ask me about fixing electronic stuff. I get people to come in the store and ask me about cars. I get people come in the store and ask me about personal life and so forth. Because, as the sheriff told me, I've become the Dear Abby for everybody downtown. And that's the primary reason why I do these blogs. I use common sense. I don't sit down and write out a menu and a plan of what I'm going to say like talk show hosts do. I don't, buy into the I'm greater than thou. I make mistakes. Some of my mistakes are the funniest things people like about me. You got to be honest, straightforward with people. I said every day in the store, and I think how good America could be if we got rid of Obamacare. Jobs could go through the ceiling, and Obama knows that. Liberals know that. Everything else. Get rid of Obamacare. Well, these companies don't have to worry about that penalty and fine. They can hire. We get people working. There's more jobs for them people that can't do nothing. And if the guy with a college degree in, botany, we'll say, is working in a science lab because the EPA is not castrating science research like they are with all these things, he don't have to be working at Walmart. Somebody that cannot get into college could be working at Walmart. And if Walmart doesn't have Obamacare hanging over their head, they can pay people. Raising the minimum wage is just stupid, all the way around stupid. Because it's just going to less jobs. I know in my particular business, I'm going to open a second store. I'd probably hire 3 people. Minimum wage goes up. There's going to be 1 person working the store. It'll be open 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and that's all it'll be open. End of it. And other people think that way too. They don't look at it as a point of view of what's going to work and what's correct. They look at it as what's going to get me elected again. That's why we need term limits. God, we need term limits. 2 for the president, 2 for the Senate, 2 for the House. That's it. No incentive to stay. Don't make a lifelong career. And this lifelong pay is no. If you're a president, well, I give the president a lifetime pay because it's hard to go from president to working executive at a company. Because people hate him, people love him, everything else. And now, congressmen and senators, no. We'll give you 2 years' pay after you get out. Get yourself stable. Because they can leave Congress and go back and run a company and be vice president of a company, CEO of a company. Ain't gonna hurt them. If we cut that lifetime pay, and these ones that are getting it, well, we're done. You're done. You've been getting it. You should have saved it. Should have invested it. Should have done something. Welfare, I think it's time to cut it. Cut it big time. Straight up. Across the board, cut 30% on welfare. But you have to get rid of Obamacare so that businesses can get out there. We got to make it more of an incentive to work for the money than to get it for free. Read the other day, 5 states. Unemployment and welfare pay more than a $10 an hour job does in some states. Stop and think about that. They want to raise the minimum wage to $10.10. Yet welfare and food stamps pay a few cents more than that for sitting at home. It's time to cut them. You sit and watch families on welfare. We got them here. Mom and dad are on welfare. 3 kids, they've been on welfare. The kids get 16, 17 years old, and the kids can't go to McDonald's and get a job because it'll hurt mommy's welfare check. So they sit around collecting more, and then they get on it when they get out because they don't understand the work ethic. It's that simple. We made it to where it's easier to not participate than it is to get out there and work. I see kids coming in the store every day wanting jobs because they like my little store with electronics and all the knickknacks and stuff. And they're good kids. They think they know. But I can't just give them the keys to a store. They have to prove it. I have one young man, I told him a couple weeks, he's 16. He wanted to come up and help me work on some stuff. He could do it kind of like an internship. I would do that for him. And as you can hear, church bells are ringing in the background. So it's about time to go. No, I'm not Catholic, but those are Catholic church bells ringing. So, time for a little bit of God, a little bit of lunch, and then NASCAR. So, if people that look at all my videos, stop and think about this stuff. And you should maybe ask your friend to watch it. I said, I'm not sitting here. I'm not Rush Limbaugh, Sean, or any of them guys. I'm just an old man that's had enough and wants to start saying what's right. What's right is we all stand up, take care of ourselves and our own. We all honor our God and our Constitution, and everything else will work out. So, thank you, and as always, have a wonderful day.